Welcome to the Cardinals Squad Show. My name is Benjamin Garcia, host of the Ben Garcia Show, and a credentialed Arizona sports media member. Listen, the season has been rough, but there are some positive takeaways. Let's get to that and some second half predictions next.
Jamil Douglas, former NFL offensive lineman. Jacoby Brissett should be starting for the Cardinals, but does it even matter? Tune in and you'll find out.
Rise up, Red Sea. It's the Cardinals Squad. Everything Arizona Cardinals every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the Valley of the Sun. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Gear up and squad up. The Cardinals Squad Show starts now.
What is up? Welcome back into the Cardinals Squad Show. Wherever you are listening, however you are listening, thank you so much for making this show a part of your day. Reminder, this show is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So, hey, if you feel obliged to, like, subscribe, and, let us know who your favorite member is even potentially. But with that being said, guys, get locked on to the Arizona Cardinals Squad Show right here each and every day. We got a lot of things to get into. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff, but today, first is presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKDOWNNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. No Clancy today. That guy, he's been just spewing out some crazy stuff. We gave him a 1 episode suspension. In all actuality, he's taking a bit of a sabbatical, taking some time off to himself, using the bye week. Let me ask you this, because it is the bye week. What did you normally do during your bye week? It
depends.
Do you guys just not speak to each other? Actually, what's the best thing the Cardinals should be doing right now during the bye week? Is it more film, or is it everyone get away from each other?
No, I think everyone get away from each other for where the Cardinals are now. I think, look, the best bye weeks that I had, the first couple of days after your game on Sunday, you may come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. After that, Wednesday, you're done at noon. Everyone get away until Sunday or Monday, usually the next Monday. So those are the best ones, because at this point in the season, especially where the Cardinals are, they've had a lot of ups and downs. I'm sure
a lot of ups.
Well, more so downs than ups, but you know what I mean. You have to go up to go down. So hey. But I'm sure, guys been going at it since training camp and before that as well. So it's always good to let your team decompress, let the coaches just be coaches and do their thing, and then come back and gear up for the second half of the season.
What do coaches tell their teams when they're riding a 5-game losing streak into the bye week, knowing really no one's getting fired, at least for now? I don't know if you've ever dealt with that, probably with the Miami Dolphins. Where? What do you tell you?
Well, no, because we were 0-4 and Joe Philbin got fired. So I don't know what he would have told us on that bye week. But what I would tell my team is, look, the first half of our season, when you're thinking in terms of the bye week, the first half of our season is done. What we do from here is what matters most. We have to be a different team moving forward. We can't come back and be the same old team, come up short. I think the stat is they've lost these games by a combined 13 points. We've got to figure out a way to improve on finishing games. That's what I would tell my team. This second half of the season, we're going to figure out a way to finish games and finish the season strong.
Listen, let's go down this rabbit hole really quickly. You obviously play on the offensive side of the ball, but if I'm not mistaken, Budda Baker and the Arizona Cardinals defense had a players-only meeting talking about why they're blowing it's so funny. If there's a side of the ball that should have a players-only meeting, it's probably not the defensive side of the ball so far. It should be should just be a quarterback meeting, an OC meeting only.
Well,
what goes on in those? When teams are skidding, what goes on in those?
So I didn't know that they had a defensive.
Let me make sure before I make that up, but I'll let you speak on that.
No, for sure. But this is what I think it's great if they did, because like I said earlier this week, this defense is going to have to carry the team the rest of the the later half of the season. In those player only meetings, though, it's typically obviously a player leads it. Whoever is considered the voice of the defense, offense, special teams, whatever the case may be. And it's really just an open dialogue. It's addressing where we're at right now. It's kind of the state of the union, given what side of the ball you're speaking to, and then things can either go one way or the other. Guys are either in agreement or they disagree. But usually when you do have disagreements within those player-led meetings, it's a good thing, because now you're getting to the bottom of what it really is, like the truth of how people feel. Player-only meetings aren't supposed to just be a kumbaya session. There's supposed to be some disagreements within it.
Well, dude, I thought I heard it. Like, I couldn't find a report on it, but I thought I heard it against the game this past weekend. I thought Jen Hale, who was sideline reporting that game, sideline reporting the ASU game too.
Yeah.
I thought she had mentioned it, that they had just a players only meeting, like, to figure out why they were blowing close games. But anyways, like, that's aside from the point. I'm just curious, because as you're going into the bye week, like, what does it look like? But you would say that everyone just kind of needs to go their own way. Everyone
needs to get away for a little bit, put football out of their minds. Like you said, there's been a lot of close, tough games. The last thing you can do as a player is obsess over what your record is right now. Get away, kind of wipe the slate clean, and then come back ready to put your head down for work for these last, 7 or how many ever weeks there is left.
Yeah, 9 games, I think it is.
9 games,
2 and 5, 8 games.
8
Quick
games.
math there.
Yeah,
Look at me doing. What did you do during your? What would you typically do?
It depends on where I was standing wise. Obviously.
Okay.
There were times
so for you, it was a lot of extra work.
There was times, yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna lie. Like I spent a lot of mine working out, but there was times where I would fly to Arizona, come see ASU play, or I remember I flew to LA one year, watched ASU play USC. Like, those are typically what when you don't have a family at that point in time, you go to your college and do things like that.
Do the coaches and GMs care what you do? Like, do they?
Well, I've got a story for you about
Is it
a
an
guy.
on-air story? Is it an on-air story?
Yeah. So look, there was, when I was on the Titans, we had a bye week. I can't remember what our record was at that time, but I remember Braves came into the room, addressed the team. Hey, what did you guys do on your bye weeks? Certain guys say, oh, I hung around, or I worked out, or I went to my college. This one linebacker who's still playing till this day, actually turned his whole career around. He said, I went to Cabo. Braves looks at him. He said, you went to Cabo? Our record was bad, by the way. Like,
oh my God.
Our record was bad. You went to Cabo? The guy goes, yeah, I went to Cabo. Tell me why. We're getting ready for practice. Next thing you know, this man is getting pulled to go talk to the GM. They released him from the Titans that day. That day, because he went to Cabo on the bye week.
Why? We had other stuff planned, but this is great behind the scenes. So why?
Hey, I couldn't tell you why. I don't know.
Okay, but like, you just can't. It is your off time. Listen, I understand it's a different job, but like, that it is your off time.
No, it is for sure. But I think that's why I said, in certain standings, wherever you're at, he shouldn't have even said he went to Cabo. He should have just said, oh, I took a trip back home or something like that. But hey,
wait, what's wrong with Cabo? Like, he's relaxing?
Yeah, you're on vacation, man. He probably had a couple of pina coladas, things like that, where he should have just
don't see the.
That's why you're not a coach.
Yeah.
That's why you're not a coach.
Wait, so it's okay for you to go back to your alma mater, chug a couple of brewskis,
hey, listen.
That's okay, but you can't.
I don't make the rules, Ben. I don't make the rules.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. He cut him outright.
Cut him before practice. The guy's still playing. Actually turned his career. He was a practice squad fringe guy. Got away from there, went to another team in the AFC, and was actually a really good player. Still playing till this day. And
I'm gonna make you tell me after the show.
Yeah. I'll tell you after the show.
That is absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, man. So bye weeks. Okay. Hey, listen. Bye
so
weeks
right now, what's Kyler doing? Like, you've been around a quarterback? Like, let's just Kyler's obviously a quarterback with during the bye week right now. Like, what should Kyler be doing right now? What should Jacoby Brissett? What should the offense be doing? One's going to Cabo. It sounds like.
I'm sure. Obviously, Kyler's coming off of an injury, right? So Kyler's not going anywhere. On bye weeks, players that are hurt are basically, it's mandatory that you show up to treatment every day. So I don't know if he's been cleared, whatever the case may be, but if he's still on the injury report, you don't really have a bye week in terms of being able to get away. Now, maybe they give you like Friday, Saturday, and come back Sunday, but you're typically there all week. I guarantee Jacoby's still in the building, still working out, doing all of those things because of, how his number has been called on. So I'm sure those guys are sticking around for sure.
Look at this, dude. People are here because they love Jamil's insights.
Hey, this
is what it's here for, man. We need to know what goes. Okay, so let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
How a team right now that is currently losing, like, what is it like to lose and go into the bye versus winning and going into the bye?
Oh, it's tough.
It's got to be way different, especially riding a 5-game losing streak, because every week I'm sure you just want to right the ship.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because typically when you win before a bye week, the coach is like, you guys get out of here. You deserve this. You earned it. When you lose, there's like
you don't deserve it.
Yeah, there's this like, why would I let you guys have a full week off when we just lost? There's things that, and again, being 2-5 or whatever the case may be, there's things that you need to fix on your bye week, right? So I'm sure there was either meetings or, some sort of practice without pads or helmet, like walkthrough ideas that were thrown out there that the team is doing. But it's tough. The difference is major. When you win, it's kind of like, hey, enjoy your time off. You guys earned this. When you lose, it's like, we got more work to do. We're going to take advantage of the bye week.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, when I was in New England, the bye week was like a camp week. There was no
what?
Oh gosh. Jesus. Listen. That bye week.
Isn't that the time when you're supposed to get healthy and Bill Belichick is just running you guys into the ground? I don't know if you ever played under. Yeah, you played under Bill.
Yeah, under Bill. Some of his guys would go in from practice after individual drills, and then the rest of us would stay out and we would practice, and we'd practice hard. So there's a lot of different ways to go about it. Like, there's just,
Is that the right way to go about it if you're a losing team? Just go the Bill Belichick training camp.
I think you got to be smart. I think you got to be smart for sure, based off injuries, which the Cardinals have a ton of. Just like you have to know your team. You have to know which guys. And I'm sure there's coaches that are like, hey, it would benefit you to stay around the facility and do things like that. But ultimately, guys are professionals. They're going to do what they want to do.
Let's get into we talked about the bye week for a full segment, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm already racking my brain around, like, who the hell was this linebacker that got cut? But I think I'll have an educated guess after the show. Let's get into what the best outcome is for the Arizona Cardinals in the second half of the season. And let's do it next. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Every day we make decisions, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Playing Prize Picks is such a fun, simple way to add excitement to football. Just pick more or less on projections like Josh Allen's passing yards or Saquon Barkley rushing for a touchdown. You're in the game. I love how quick it is. You can make your lineup in under a minute. My favorite part, Prize Picks just added stacks. So if I want to ride with a player, I can select pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns all in one lineup. It's all fun to follow. It's also fun to follow other players in the app and copy their lineups with one click. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Add you back to the stage here. Okay, so let me ask you this. Now that we kind of got through like what the bye week looks like, everything in between, I don't want to say the season is over. Like the Cardinals could, not easily, but they could rattle off 3 straight wins. And then we're talking about teams at 500, still a really tough schedule to end the season. Playoffs looks bleak, but like, what is the best outcome for this Cardinals team right now? Because I don't think you're going to like my answer because it's definitely very negative.
Well, I think mine is as well. We gotta weigh the scale. We gotta see what tips the scale. Is it 8 or 9 wins or is it a top 5 draft pick?
Oh, you'd rather have the top 5 draft pick. Do you want to be in no man's land? But I don't want to actively root for a team to lose. Like, obviously, there's no interest in that. No one wants to sit here and wait for a show in April.
Well, hey, you asked me. I'm just giving you the answer of what I think. I think it's either you can, rattle off and pull together a string of wins and possibly squeak into a wild card, best case scenario, or you get a top 5 draft pick, which obviously means your season was terrible, but in terms of the future, it possibly, puts you in a better position. Now, for the Cardinals, I don't know which one is, I guess being a wild card team would do more for the Cardinals this year, obviously, than a top 5 draft pick would.
What would you rather be? A playoff team? Like if you could guarantee
playoff team.
But you're just out of the realm of possibility that can happen.
Squeak into the playoffs. If the Cardinals squeak into the playoffs this year, once you get in the playoffs, it is what it is. Like anybody can win. We know that just off of, any given Sunday. So if the Cardinals were to get to a point that they made the wild card, that means that they played some pretty decent ball after post bye week. So I'd much rather be a playoff team than picking in the top 5. But to each his own.
No, I agree with you. Like I'd rather be a playoff team, but I just wonder what that would look like. Like if the Cardinals made the playoffs, I think it would look like this. Like I think this is more plausible. The defense is just elite. Kyler Murray comes back and does exactly what he was doing before, except they flip the script and win these close games, meaning maybe Zay Jones catches that pass. Maybe Amari DiMercato actually runs in with the football. Like some of those break their way. I understand that it's this revolving door of like, oh, how do you feel about Kyler? How do you feel about Kyler? But the whole season is all about Kyler. It was all about like, you got to find out if this guy can play. And so I just don't see a world if this team did somehow make a run and like, dude, look at these opponents, man. The Dallas Cowboys, who you're going to have to win a shootout with. You're going to it's going to be, if the Cardinals win this game, it's going to be 35-30. Then you have Seattle, who Kyler Murray has never beaten on the road, I might add. 49ers, who like, God, maybe you want their best players to be playing. And then Jacksonville, like they don't have a team so Cowboys are over 500, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Jags are over 500. Seattle's over 500. Niners are, Bucks are, Rams are, Texans are not. Falcons, if I'm not mistaken, are not. And then they finish the season up with probably Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. If they're winning these games, I can't flip the script on it and say to you like, oh, I think this is going to happen because Kyler Murray showed up and was awesome. I think the worst thing that can happen is that the Cardinals squeak into the playoffs and it's because it's a defensive-led team. Because then you just find yourself in limbo. And I don't know what that does for team morale, knowing like, yes, our defense dragged us here, but we can't play complementary football enough. Like our quarterback isn't good enough. And so like
what's
the better
interesting
option is just Jacoby.
Right.
If you just threw him out there.
Well, yeah.
Like if you
go ahead.
Continue.
Go ahead.
I'm curious because I want you to get your thought out too, but I'm curious, like, what happens if the Cardinals lose against the Cowboys? They're statistically almost in every advanced stat the worst defense in the NFL.
Well, they fall to 2-6.
What happens? Yeah. What happens?
Yeah.
What happens if they lose to the Cowboys and the offense looks bad? Like, let's say the defense holds out the Cowboys. Let's say they only score 20 points.
Are we saying with Kyler or?
Yeah, with Kyler. With Kyler.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do then? Like, do you make the switch or do you just continue to roll them out there?
I mean, at that point, the pride, I think, of the management gets in the way, right? And they say, well, we're not going to go back to Jacoby after we just put our guy back in there. So I will say this, and this is a tough schedule to end your season with. And Dallas as bad as Dallas's defense is,
offense is elite.
Dallas, their offense is ridiculous, and they can win close games. That's just the reality of it. You fall to 2-6, 4 games under 500. The Cardinals aren't rattling off. They're not going to go 10-6 after that. Like they're not going to go. I don't know. It just if you lose this game to Dallas, it really puts you in a hole in terms of winning 4 games to get to 500. Like, and then we talk about this division. I don't even know if 9 wins will get you in the playoffs in this division. Or in
the conference,
even in the conference. Yeah. So it's a steep climb, but I do feel like Kyler, in terms of where the Cardinals are, has to be able to beat these teams. That's a non-negotiable. Like he's not undermanned or lack of anything on offense. He has to be able to put together wins versus these teams because everyone else does it.
What do you say to the people like that will say like the defense gives up, big chunk plays, like Cam Ward stormed down the field on them and won the game? What do you say to people that blame the defense? Because there are a lot of those people that come out and immediately blame the defense and say, like, this is on the defense. They aren't holding their end of the bargain. Like, what do you say to that? Like, talk some sense into those people for me. I
feel like you don't know how good someone's defense is until their offense plays complementary football with them. These last couple of weeks, obviously they've given up points, but I think with the way that the offense has been able to extend drives and not have them on the field as much, it's helped out a ton. Now they haven't made the plays to like seal the games and things like that, but those things just kind of ebb and flow throughout a season. But when this team catches a stride if they catch a stride and they're in a position where the offense is flowing and the defense is able to make plays, like you don't know what you have on defense until your offense is able to sustain drives, put up points on the board, and not have you on the field after 3 plays, consistently.
As of right now, like let's say Kyler Murray plays the whole season and looks like he did before. When do players start checking out of a season that is not going anywhere and start making business decisions? Like, I'm not saying like to play football, and I'm sure this is why at some point you retired, you were like, I can't give it my all anymore. Like, I can't walk out there on Sundays and play 80% and just half-ass it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like? When do players start just kind of playing for their contract, playing for themselves, going out of position, doing what they need to do? Does that even happen?
Well, it's interesting because it depends. Like if this is a situation where a new coaching staff is coming in, players are going to play very, very hard because if they want to be there and they know a new coaching staff is coming in, all the new coaching staff can do is evaluate based off tape, even if they don't know the guy. Like, so players from that standpoint, don't hang it up. I think if you get to a point where you're 2-8, 2-9, and that could very well be a thing if the Cardinals lose to Dallas, Seattle, the 49ers, beat Jacksonville. Like, if you get to a point where you're 2-9, we're gonna see a different product on the field. I don't think that and they may steal a win from someone, but it's tough when you're in terms of like the season's over and you still got 6 games left. That's a tough spot to be in for players.
I've interviewed Trey McBride. I've been at there when Marvin Harrison Jr. is speaking. James Conner, we've interviewed him as well, over at my time, Fox Sports 910. And they truly do speak very highly of Kyler Murray. Do you think they're surprised too that the season has gone how it is? Do you think they see Kyler every day in practice? Like, I bought into it because I'm not around Kyler all the time. Do you think they're surprised that this didn't work out? Or do you think they always knew in their heart of hearts?
No, I don't think they always knew.
Okay. So
I think they're surprised where they're at right now.
Do you think they're internally, we have a quarterback issue?
I think they're internally, especially Trey McBride, because we've seen his production go. I think he's like, shoot, let's let Jacoby roll. Well, he's gonna get targets regardless. We know Kyler looks for him every play. It doesn't matter. Kyler's gonna look for him. I think we know why he has to. But anyways, continue. Yeah. But I think they're just in a spot where these guys just want to win, man. And yeah, Kyler is the guy that they paid to be the guy. But if Jacoby's giving them a competitive edge, guys typically lean towards the competitive edge, and that's just the reality of it. There is no, obviously there's feelings involved because that's your teammate and things like that. But outside of that, man, guys want to win.
So there was something out this week as well from Tua Tagovailoa. First off,
yeah, blew my mind.
Okay, Tua went to the podium.
He's wild.
And I'm not going to make any jokes.
No.
But Tua went to the podium and basically admitted he can't see guys over the middle of the field because he can't see over the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And I pushed this to the side for a very long time with Kyler, man. Yeah. I thought it was poking fun. I thought it was finding the easy way out. I thought there was real, no analytical watching the game opinion on it. And I feel like I have egg all over my face. Over the last couple of weeks was the first time I said to myself, dude, I don't think Kyler Murray can see over the offensive line. I don't want to get you in trouble, but just tell me what you think of all that. You don't need to agree with me or not. What do you think of that? Have you ever had a quarterback tell you, hey man, I can't see?
Tua's wild for saying that.
What was your reaction to that too?
Immediately, I thought, wow, we've never heard Kyler say something like that.
Why would you?
Exactly. He knows that right there, Kyler knows he can never say that. I'm sure he's dealt with that. I'm sure it's been hard for him to see. It's inevitable. But we've never heard of Drew Brees. We never heard Drew Brees say that. And Drew Brees is shorter than Tua or Russell Wilson.
Both those guys are 6 foot, even probably exactly. 5'11" with cleats on 6 foot.
100%. Those guys are less than what they're listed. But I just, I don't know why Tua said that. It blew my mind, but immediately my first thought was wow, imagine if Kyler came out and said that.
Don't you think it's something if Tua is 6'1", which means I think at the combine he got measured at 6'3". So I don't know where the hell he paid to get that extra, couple inches in.
Yeah.
But Kyler got listed, I remember 5'10" and an eighth at the combine. I don't think you can play. Let me just say it, and then you can react to what I say. I don't think you can I thought for a long time, if Kyler goes somewhere else, like Minnesota, ready-made offense, ready-made defense, good head coach, elite defensive coordinator. I don't even know if Kyler could work there. I do think there is some physical capabilities that you just can't push to the side. And it, like, after Tua said that, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, if you can't see over the line and you can't run plays under center, like, now we know why they're not running plays under center. What, 3-step, 5-step drop back, whatever you, 1-step, 2-step drop back. That stuff takes time to progress. And I think the longer you are, dropping back in the pocket, you can't see over the line. They're like, yeah, just get rid of that. Let's run everything in shotgun.
Yeah. What stands out to me from a football standpoint is like Tua's at his best when he's throwing timing routes, right? So he may sell the play action, hit his back foot, and deliver a strike. That's because he knows exactly where that receiver is. There doesn't have to be reads in between it. He can just trust that, okay, if the receiver's running a 15-yard dig, when my back foot hits, I'm letting it go to this area because I know he's going to show up there. That's when Tua's been at his best. Kyler doesn't run a system like that. So Kyler has to do a little bit more in terms of reading the defense. Where Kyler would be great at is a spot like San Fran. Because of the run game, because of the timing routes that are involved in their offense and the gadgets that they use. Like, if Kyler was to be paired with a Shanahan, we'd see a very, very elite player, in my opinion, because of what I see with Tua in terms of when he's at his best. Now, when they get down and they can't stay in their offense, that's when we see Tua throw the 3 picks, the 4 picks a game. Like, but outside of that, when they run their first 10, first 15, and Tua's just standing back there doing what he does, like, everyone's like, oh, it's going to be a good day from Tua.
Dude, I just think at this point, like, I don't want to pick on Kyler. Like, truly, I don't. If the dude,
he can take it, man. He's grown.
Listen, at some point in the season, after you've ripped into him for 8 straight weeks, it does just kind of feel like you're bullying. But it is the quarterback position. Like, this whole season was about Kyler. And so I just saw those comments and I thought that they were really damning to Kyler, because it made me think to myself, dude, I don't know if that's going to work anywhere, but Kyle's interesting as well. So when you combine, and again, everything is something, not something is everything. Like, that's kind of but the homework clause, maybe Kyler isn't he's obviously watching film, but maybe he's not Tom Brady watching film.
Of course not.
And when you, okay.
Of course not.
Fine. Stafford.
Who is?
Stafford.
Of course not. Of course not.
Did you just not watch film?
I hated watching film. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Let's finish this conversation. Let's put a pin on this. Let's finish this conversation, because I do want to talk about, like, that homework clause. Yeah. Let's combine with that, and let's do that and much more next. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. I'm sorry, guys. I can't believe Jamil just told me he did not like watching film. The NFL season is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle between queues, the login screens, and prices jumping at checkout. It is frustrating. That's why I use Game Time. Truly, that's the only one I use. The app that gives the advantage back to fans. Game Time, a fast, easy, and backed up by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. I use Game Time, yes, for, like, if I want to go to a game, like, oftentimes media, like, I usually go to the games as media. It's not as fun at all as being a fan. I'd rather be a fan going to games. But, like, if I go, I'm going to use Game Time. But even more than that, they don't just have NFL tickets. I bought tickets to a concert like 3 different times on Game Time, got a killer price because I just waited closer to Game Time, waited for the price Game Time, waited for the prices to drop, and I got tickets at a super cheap price. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, download, game time today. Listen, I just thought everyone that played in the NFL liked film. I thought everyone.
No. Listen, let me tell you why. As an offensive lineman and as a thinker, right? I'm a thinker. The more film you watch, the harder it is to block someone.
Why?
Because you get to see all of these things that he does really well, right? Like, oh, they put together a third down.
Give me an example of someone. Give me an example of someone.
For example, let's use Calais Campbell back when he was in Jacksonville, right? We went and played.
Good luck.
We went and played them on a Thursday night. I gave up. Well, really, it was 1.5 sacks, 2 sacks, whatever. I counted as 2. The short week, you watch a ton of film because you're not really on the practice field. I just don't like the fact that you get to see all of this person's highlights and you're focused on that. Outside of me knowing how he plays the run and what's his favorite pass move, I don't want to watch him just wreck guys all day because I have to play the guy. Like, why? Why would I do that? You know, like at some point you got to say, okay, this is what he likes to do versus outside zone.
Oh my gosh.
This is how he takes double teams. This is what he does in the pass game. Leave it alone. But hey, that's why I'm at home, you know?
Can you do that at the quarterback position? Or no? You got to be way more dialed in.
No. Not a chance. You got to watch film.
What's the position group that watches the least amount of film?
Probably running backs.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. You just got to kind of know your lanes and know what you're going to set up.
Probably
okay,
running backs.
Don't run at Myles Garrett.
Run
the opposite
you know
direction.
what I'm saying? Like what does a running back have to?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, pass blocking assignments, but I guess that'd be it.
Sure.
Okay, so I do want to get to some like other quarterback rooms and kind of just temperature check of where Kyler Murray ranks across the NFL. But really quickly, we talked about that Tua thing, the fact that he just admitted, I mean, if he's short, then I'm a shrimp.
Yeah.
That he can't see over the line. I like that you agreed to that. Thanks for that.
For sure.
That he can't see over the line at times. Compile that with Kyler Murray's maybe lack of wanting to study film. I don't want to kill him for that because I think maybe that was a little overblown. But like, what do you make of that? If you're someone that's got a deficiency, like physically, you got to make up for it in different ways. Like Drew Brees, insane accuracy. That's the first thing I would think of him. I mean, what did Peyton Manning slow? So what did he become? The best pocket passer in the NFL. Tom Brady, his everything. You saw the combine photo. So he's just going to study everything and have the answers to the test. I don't even know where I want to go with this, but what do you make of that?
I mean, I don't know how much film Kyler watches, right? Like,
we don't know. We don't know.
I think there's a benchmark, right, of film that you need to be watching, and it's like you need to know how certain people play. Do we think that Jacoby is watching more film than Kyler?
Yes. Unfortunately. If I had to guess, I'd say yes.
Or do we just think that Jacoby has a better understanding of the game than Kyler?
Doesn't that kind of go hand in hand a little bit?
Well, I mean, Jacoby comes from the New England tree where he sat under Tom Brady. He knows how to break down certain film and things like that. Like, I believe those guys are watching the same amount of film as far as the meeting room goes. Now, what you do after and at home, and we've heard about the, enjoying video games and things like that. But what you do after you leave the building, we can't really speculate because we don't know. But those guys are watching the same tape as far as the coaches prepping them.
Okay. It's just interesting because you combine that with the Tua stuff. Okay, so let's kind of go to this now. Instead of just saying who's better, I want us both to answer, and then we can dive into it. Who would you rather have? Contracts included. Like contracts, you don't just get rid of those.
Okay.
I want to look around the league. We'll start here. Like we know that. Like I'm not going to waste our time with the top 5. Stafford, Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen. Like, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
Let's just go right here. CJ Stroud. Who would you rather have right now? Who would you rather have? Let me stop that. Like, I don't want to make it who's
one,
better.
Right? That's a
like,
tough
I don't
want
to make it who's better. I want to make it to fit this team. Like, I don't want to get personal with players. Like, we don't have to do that.
I would take CJ Stroud right now. Stature, arm, ability to stand in the pocket. This offense, when they have a quarterback that has, and I'm not going to choose just the bigger stature for every quarterback you list, but I think CJ Stroud could make every throw that we've seen this offense progress in the last 2 weeks.
Okay. I would also go CJ Stroud. Right now they're about the same quarterback, like physically playing, but Cardinals have a little bit. Okay, well, Cardinals have a little bit better of an offensive line. Yeah. And CJ Stroud is a big individual.
I think he commands. I think he commands an offense a little better than what Kyler does.
Let's go to this one. And I strategically picked out these teams just so we're clear.
Okay.
Bryce Young. Played some good football over there.
And what's crazy,
he's already injured again.
I had high expectations for Bryce Young.
God, he's shorter than me.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kyler.
I'd probably still take Kyler. There's just no superpower with Bryce Young. I think he's accurate, and I think I think at some point like that will catch up to him, his size, and he's not the fastest player. Like,
I do think there's going to be a time where Bryce Young is having the type of year that we're going to be wowed by, because he's like the Steph Curry of quarterbacks. Like, there will be a time where his skill set is unique. I'm telling you, bookmark this.
But you'd rather have Kyler.
But I'd rather have Kyler. I'd rather have Kyler right now.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Here's an even better one. You know what? Before I get to that one, just really quickly, Cam Ward or Kyler Murray? Cam Ward's look lost.
Yeah, I'm taking Kyler.
I would probably still take Kyler. What about this one? And then we're going to get into your idea. Because I said Tuesday, I'd call this team up right now. JJ McCarthy or Kyler Murray? Contract included. Like, there's a contract in this too.
Okay, so I said I would take the trade, but that was
that trade would be. What would that trade have to be for you to accept it? JJ and what else?
Yeah, I can't remember what I said. Maybe JJ and a pick, or JJ and a running back, something like that. But I said, for the purpose of saying Kyler's not your guy, I would take that trade. If we're talking quarterback to quarterback, I'm taking Kyler over JJ because he just hasn't shown me anything in terms of me wanting to move off of Kyler. So I would keep Kyler instead of JJ. But in terms of the trade, if you're saying, Kyler, you're no longer our guy, go ahead and trade for JJ because he's a younger guy, and I think he can be an asset if you want to go ahead and move him in the future,
Okay, before I get to the other ones, I would take Kyler over JJ as well for all the same reasons you did.
Yeah.
Bo Nix.
I'm taking Bo. What?
I'm just saying, I'd probably agree with you, but I don't know if it's a Bo Nix right away. He's looked a little rough. He's looked a little rough. How much of that is Sean Payton?
He's a leader.
Yeah. He also was terrible at Auburn and then got to Oregon and
seen him fight for wins. Like,
is that you saying you haven't seen Kyler fight for wins?
I'm not saying that. We're talking Bo.
But you're saying you have seen Bo do it. Okay.
Yeah, and I believe his team rallies around him.
Okay, and then this one, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Mr. 6'1".
Yeah. What's interesting about this, right, is I believe so do I have to pick first?
Yes, pick. You got to pick between the two.
Okay.
Dude, this is such a wacky show. I love it.
I would keep Kyler. Okay. I would take Kyler.
Okay.
I believe, though, if you were to propose a trade, Tua and Ollie Gordon for Kyler Murray and maybe a pick, maybe a mid-round pick, I believe that the Dolphins would do it, and they would feel like they won in terms of like they're getting a quarterback. I think people around the league would take Kyler Murray over Tua. I do think Tua would be better in this offense, though, because of his pocket passing ability. That's just, and I know he said he can't see over certain people, things like that. I think Tua would be better for the Cardinals, though. I think he'd be a better fit. And you get Ollie Gordon. You get a running back. You get someone who he's a bigger back, can actually burn a little bit. Hey,
we did see Tua with Brian Flores, and it was rough. Do you want to see Tua with Drew Petzing?
Listen, Brian Flores is a whole different guy than anyone on the Cardinals staff.
Brian Flores?
He was the linebackers coach when I was in New England.
Okay.
Yes. So let me just say this, because I think he gets a bad rap. Guys would run through a wall for him when he was in New England. And the same, from what I've heard in Miami, a lot of guys really loved him, which is why a lot of those guys went from Miami to Minnesota to play for him. I think Tua would be better for Drew Petzing than Kyler would, because he's a pocket passer. We've seen Jacoby the last 2 games stand in the pocket, deliver the ball. That's all Tua's not outrunning anyone ever.
I mean, listen, I don't know, man. I don't know. The offensive line is bad. He's got a concussions history.
Who are you picking?
The better quarterback, I think. They've both been to the playoffs. Neither have a playoff win. God, dude.
Listen, Tua in a warm weather
Kyler's at least
state,
not throwing guys under the bus.
I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah, he will have to shut his mouth. Tua in a warm weather state, as far as like the teams that he's gonna go play against. I know Miami.
He plays in Miami right now. Oh, you're saying the teams he's gonna go play. But
when they have to go play in the playoffs against Buffalo or New England, they get torched every time because he's just not a cold weather quarterback. Now, if he came to Arizona, telling you, I know it sounds far-fetched.
I'm not touching that $53 million deal.
The trade deadline is in 12 days. It would have
to be Tua, and I'm not joking with you. It'd have to be Tua. Give me Ollie Gordon too, and a 2nd-round pick. Yeah. Because if I get another pick with it, I might just trade Kyler for a pick anyways. I don't know, man. I think I don't want to test your football acumen because it's clearly higher than mine, but that one worries me a little bit.
You think if the Dolphins called and said, "Hey, we're cleaning house, we will trade you Tua and Ollie Gordon for Kyler, and let's throw a pick in there." You think the Cardinals?
I need a pick back.
Oh, you need a pick. Okay, so
I'm not sending them a pick.
You said a 2nd-round pick?
Yeah.
Whatever. If they do that, you think the Cardinals are going to say no? They need a running back. They need a running back.
I think they'd say yes. I think you're right. I think they just want to wash themselves of the Kyler Murray stuff. And then that cap hit goes away because it's traded. You could just cut Tua and be totally fine. Cut bait with it. Madden taught me that. So I don't know, man. All right. Let's we're gonna get in a lot of trouble for going through those, which I thought would be fun. Let's go into the biggest positives for the Arizona Cardinals season. Let's end on a high note and let's talk about it. Let's dissect it. Next. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Mazda. Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride with more IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than anyone else. From footwork to breathwork, athletes sweat all the details. Mazda brings the same intention to how we craft every model. You can feel Japanese craftsmanship in every detail, from the metallic accents to available Napa leather upholstery. You can make everyday drives feel like nothing, but from smooth handling to intuitive controls. Like our players, we sweat every detail, because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved. So let's just go to this. Let's just like broad subject here.
Yeah.
What in your mind are the things that are the things that you can take into the, after the bye week, and then obviously into the next season? What is the most positives you think you have seen so far from this team? And then I want to get into someone in particular.
It's tough, right? It's tough. 2-5. What is really the positive?
They're not going to Cabo.
Not going to Cabo. Right now, the thing that's been consistent is Trey McBride.
Yeah.
So he's
a budding star.
You got your guy at tight end. Paris Johnson, I think
that's your guy.
I think he's panning out the right way.
He's very good.
Jacoby. Listen, teams do not have number 2 quarterbacks that can go in and put numbers up. You've got that. And so I think in terms of what you were trying to accomplish for getting a backup quarterback, like, you've got that with Jacoby. Outside of that, you've got some young DBs obviously dealt with some injuries, but those guys have stepped up and played some really good minutes and made plays. But outside of that, man, it's been.
What about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Where are you leaning at with him? Are you leaning towards positive, or
he's showing life?
Minivan Marv.
No.
Right, where is he between Minivan Marv and Maserati Marv?
He's closer to Maserati than he is Minivan. Listen, I'm telling you this. When I saw him do the first down signal last week on the ground after he made a catch, that told me everything I needed to know. He's finding his way back into the offense. We're seeing a little bit of personality. It doesn't seem like he's just happy to catch the ball at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually finding and able to kind of just be who he is. And so I like where Marv is. We've seen him make a few plays here and there. I think he's still due for that big game. But he's shown life from the first, 2-3 weeks of the season.
Is it bad that even though Marv doesn't have like the insane numbers that he barely played against the Colts?
Yeah.
But he looks more free. And do you want to know why I think he looks more free? God, dude, it all comes back to the quarterback. Drew Petzing's offenses, I don't know if they're not creative or if they're like, we can't run this guy. We can't let him run across a route. Kyler can't see him. Like he's panicking in the pocket and he's getting rid of the ball. Like, this guy's just got to be a go ball receiver. And so I know Kyler hasn't been, or I know Marv has had better numbers, like the Seattle game, which again, what was that touchdown? Just a 9 pattern. The Titans game, what was that big catch? Just a 9 pattern. The big catch against the Saints. All of his big catches are just coming on fly routes, because I think it's the only thing that they can run him with for like, I think they want to put him in the slot and run crossers with him. Well, and every one of Marv's, I know that the one he caught with Jacoby was kind of a bit of a flop pattern, but like in the Colts game, caught one right over the middle. Like, I think they want to do more with him. I just don't know if they think they can do that.
Well, they really can. This all goes back to arm angle. I mean, you want him to throw a drag route across the middle of the field and squeeze that in between offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and linebackers. Like, Jacoby's a taller guy. He's able to get his arm over those guys. So there are some limitations in terms of like getting the ball out with Kyler, those things have to be down the field because now he can put some velocity on it, get some air under it, instead of, it just being directly through the offensive line. It makes it harder for sure.
Okay. Will Johnson is probably my biggest standout guy so far.
I forgot about Will Johnson.
Yeah, he's been. You want to know why? The best thing you can say about a defensive back is nothing, because you're not talking about them getting burnt. No one talks about like, hey, did you see Will Johnson stand there holding the hand of
No, you're right.
No, they're not getting targeted, so you don't talk about them. Yeah. That is the best. Why do you think we haven't talked about the DB room at all?
Yeah,
because there's no reason to talk about them.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The Will Johnson thing, I agree wholeheartedly. I knew during the preseason we saw him make a couple plays, but we also saw some penalties being called. And I said, what was interesting is when DBs get penalties called on them, that means they're in the vicinity, and all he has to do is clean up a couple things. So we knew that would happen. I see the chat saying Mac Wilson. Guys,
yeah, like we're not even done with the segment yet.
Yes, guys. I was going offense, okay? I said a couple young DBs, but yes, Mac Wilson has been playing well, okay? Well, I was just moving down the line, all right?
Dude, it makes it so frustrating because elite defenses, like, they don't always carry over into the next season. Like, the Jets are a really elite defense. Like, Sauce Gardner was awesome one year. Next year, not so. Like, it kind of ebbs and flows. Like, if they had the quarterback, then it always feels that way. Like, if you had the quarterback, then whatever. But, dude, someone said I need to see a GoPro on Kyler's helmet so I can see.
Yeah, they did that with Tua. What?
I didn't see that.
Oh, you look it up. Okay. I was actually no, it's online. I was actually coaching for the Dolphins when they did that during OTA. So I got to watch the view from what he saw, and it is pretty hard for him to see, but at the same time, the man was delivering strikes the whole time. So it's like the perfect excuse for when you're going through issues to just throw out, I can't see. But I was gonna say I'm still waiting for the moment that this revamped defensive line starts to really kind of leave their imprint on the game. We've seen, Josh Sweat have, plays here and there. I will say Calais Campbell, for being in year 35, whatever year this is, he's still being
35.
He's still being disruptive and making plays and being close to making plays. Like, I'm still waiting.
Still got it, bro.
Yeah. I'm still waiting though. Like, I hope that we get to see Walter Nolan get in there as this bye week ends. I want to see that be the focal point. I think in order for this defense to really be the defense that carries this team, we got to hear a lot about the D-line moving forward.
Since we're both, this is going to give away. Like, I just want to spend the last 2 minutes saying this because we're both ASU guys. That's all I'm going to say. Fast forward to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks always get picked high. I just need to say that last thing. Quarterbacks always get overdrafted. If you could have your pick of the litter, who would you take?
For the Cardinals?
First round pick. Let's say they have the 10th pick. Let's just say they have the 10th pick. You know who's not going to be there. Who would you take? Who is someone right away that you're like, pay attention to that dude?
From a quarterback position.
Just quarterback. Just we that's what we know we need.
Dude, I don't know, man. That's a tough question. Like, listen, I love Sam Levitt. Do I think Sam Levitt's going top 10?
Doesn't matter. Should have Jackson Dart should have gone, like, they always go early.
Well, we can say now, yeah, Jackson Dart should have went sooner than what he even got picked. Like, he's turned that, he's at least given them some hope. I think like,
here's this. Like, was Cam Ward anywhere near the best player in his draft?
No. He was the best quarterback. He was the best quarterback.
He's the best quarterback.
Yeah.
He's the best quarterback. Like, they always get over.
I'll say this. early, it's still kind of, we're midway through the season, right? The kid from Miami early on in the year was having a year. Beck. I know they went through.
I got in a lot of trouble for that.
Really?
I got in a lot of trouble last year for saying I would have taken a 5th round pick on Carson Beck when he was in the draft, because he was a highly sought after guy coming into college. Obviously didn't pan out in Georgia. Guess what? It also didn't pan out for Bo Nix in Auburn.
Yeah.
And I got in a lot of trouble for saying you would draft. He's terrible. I'm like, yeah, in the 5th round, I'd take it. I wouldn't take that dude in the 1st round.
No, I wouldn't take him in the first. But quarterbacks, it's really not like everyone thought Arch Manning was going to be the guy. Like quarterbacks,
for me.
I gotta see later in the year. You got to ask me that question. But we're
already in week 8, and we know that what we're trending towards. You know what I mean? So I was just curious.
Who would you take? Who would you take?
You don't want me to say who?
You're not going to say Sam Levitt.
If I had the 10th overall pick and Ty Simpson was gone, who I really like from Alabama.
I like Ty Simpson.
But I don't think he'd be there. Like, Cardinals don't trade up. They can't find a trade suitor. JJ McCarthy was also picked, I think, 10th overall, just so we're clear. I understand I'm overdrafting him. But if I'm overdrafting to get my quarterback of the future, there's something about Sam Levitt, dude. There's something about Sam Levitt.
I love him.
There's something about that kid. The arm angles, the competitiveness, the ability running.
He can make any and every
big
throw.
arm.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's a little raw. Throw him behind Jacoby Brissett for 8 games. What do I care? I'm just saying. I know, like, JJ McCarthy should not have been the 10th overall pick in the draft. Michael Penix Jr. was like the 8th overall pick.
Now, Michael Penix has an arm as well.
He does have a cannon.
And he does very accurate.
He also had 15 surgeries in college.
I think Sam Levitt is going to be a really good player in the NFL. I think if you draft him and you expect him to be the guy right away, it's going to be hard for him to live up to that. So yeah, if you're saying sit behind someone, yes, I can see that. When we're talking about Jackson, like Sam Levitt's not a big guy either. Like he's not. Yeah, on the internet, that's what they tell us. Dude, he literally is listed at 6'2". Yeah, on the internet. Listen, I've walked right next to the kid. He's not a very big guy, but competitive as it gets and can make every throw.
Just saying.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, like there's Lenora Sellers. I believe it's Dante Moore from Oregon. Like there's Ty Simpson. Early in the season, we were like, where's all the good quarterbacks at? You're starting to see some guys separate a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Just so we're clear, like if Ty Simpson was available at 10, I'm taking Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
Dante Moore,
you know what they say, Alabama quarterbacks don't typically pan out in the league, though.
Well, I think there is something to that. I think there's something to having a bunch of stability around you and never facing adversity. Like Tom Brady was, backup quarterback at Michigan, had to play. He started at Michigan, was the backup quarterback with Patriots. Like Aaron Rodgers went to Cal. Like, you know what I mean? Like Josh Allen went to Wyoming. Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech. Like, there is something to like being in college and being used to not having the best wide receiver, running back, and tight end, which is why when I see Sam Levitt go toe-to-toe with Texas, he had Cam Scatterbo. What else did he have? I'm sorry. Can he have one player that's better than Jadon Blue, the running back for Texas? Like, I'm sorry. He had him. Cam Scatterbo carried him. Okay. And what's his face? Quarterback last year, Quinn Ewers had the better wide receivers because Jordan Tyson didn't play. Better tight ends, better offensive line, better defense. Like, sorry, the guy had one better position. So, like, all I'm saying is that. Like, I
do like the kid from Vandy too. Somebody just put in the chat. I like Diego. I don't know how. Dude,
I think that's
good player,
real
though.
Eric. That one says real Eric Ruby, but if I'm not sure if it's the actual Eric Ruby from PHNX Sports who we're supposed to be dueling in a basketball game. being streamed by PHNX as well. So I don't know if he's doing some early scouting or if that's someone trolling me right now. You're not chronically online like myself, but
gotcha. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. I hate you. All right. That'll wrap us up, guys. We actually went a little long, and here we were worried about we weren't going to have the content to talk about, Jamil. For my guy, Jamil, myself, everyone in the chat, Real Eric, Ruby, Josh, Nate, Naheem, Richie, Cam, GTO, Greg, Keith, Tempico, everyone in the chat. We appreciate you guys being here. And we will talk to you guys next week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. when Clancy is back. Well, we will release him from the dungeon. But until then, have a heck of a Thursday. Have a heck of a weekend. And hopefully the Cardinals can start stacking some W's starting next week.